Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Counting on Jason Duggar shares silly way he met wife Maddie. Counting on alum Jason Duggar has been making headlines after marrying Maddie Grace. Things quickly happened between the two, and their marriage took many people by surprise. Some fans thought they were going to tie the knot early next year based on their engagement post. But it seems there has been a change of plans leading to their early marriage. The two also participated in an interview following their nuptials. One of the things they talked about was how they first met. Keep reading to see the newlyweds' silly story. Counting on Jason Duggar and Maddie Grace's wedding. On October 3, 2024, Jason and Maddie Grace tied the knot in a breathtaking fall-themed mountain wedding at the estate at Sweetwater Creek, Tennessee. According to reports, the majority of the Duggar family and from Maddie's side were in attendance. Maddie also said in an interview that she's happy about how everyone was able to participate, which is a difficult thing to do. Because you never get another day in your life where all of your loved ones are together, she added. Photos of the newlyweds have already circulated online. Jason wore a stunning tan suit. The Counting on Alum's groomsmen James, Justin, and Jackson Duggar also wore identical suits. Jedediah also served as his brother's best man. Meanwhile, Maddie's bridesmaids included members from the Duggar family such as Johanna, Jennifer, Jordan, and Josie. Jason shares silly way he met wife Maddie. Maddie Grace and Jason Duggar recently had an interview in which they shared how they actually met. According to Jason, everything started with a dare for his Jana. The Counting on Alum told his oldest sister to go out and find the man for her. To convince her further, Jason decided to look for his own significant other to show Jana that it was still possible. Jason ended up finding Maddie Grace, but she revealed that everything happened between them accidentally. Maddie said that Jason accidentally tapped on the notifications button and saw her profile pictures from suggestions. He was like, "Oh, she's cute." But he also saw that I had bubble letters in my bio, and he was like, "Oh, I want to find out how to do those," she added. Things went on between the two from there, which ultimately led to their courtship. Counting on, Jason Duggar admits early struggles with Maddie Grace. Aside from how they met, Jason also opened up about his early struggles with Maddie Grace. According to the Counting on Alum, they had a lot of hard times at the beginning of their relationship, but they worked on it and eventually became each other's best friend. He also believes that their journey showed how perfect they were for each other. We're opposites in a lot of ways, but yet we have, I think, a common goal, he added. Jason also shared that they're going to be traveling in the coming months as part of their honeymoon. In a heartwarming and unexpected twist, Jason Duggar, the 12th child of the famous Duggar family, shared a charming and silly story of how he met his wife, Maddie, that had fans of Counting on grinning from ear to ear. The story wasn't something out of a typical romance novel or a grand reality TV moment. Instead, it was a quirky tale that showed how fate and humor can sometimes work in hilarious ways. The Duggar family has long been in the spotlight, known for their large family, conservative values, and traditional courtships. Fans have watched many Duggar siblings go through the formal courtship process, which often involves parental approval, no hand-holding until engagement, and side hugs rather than full embraces. But when Jason Duggar revealed how he met Maddie, it threw some of those expectations out the window. A bump in the night, the unconventional meeting. It all started on what Jason described as an ordinary Wednesday evening. He had just finished helping his brother Jedediah with a construction project for one of the family's rental properties. Exhausted but content, he decided to stop by a local store on his way home to grab some snacks, an indulgence he rarely allowed himself. As Jason recalled with a chuckle, "I was feeling wild that night. I bought a bag of Cheetos and a Mountain Dew, totally out of character." Maddie, on the other hand, was having a completely different sort of evening. She was out with a few friends celebrating a friend's birthday. Maddie, who had recently moved to the area for work, was still getting familiar with the town and wasn't expecting to meet anyone that night, let alone her future husband. "We were just having a good time," she later shared, "and I had no idea that something like this could happen." Fate intervened in the most unlikely place, a grocery store parking lot. As Jason left the store with his snacks in hand, he noticed something strange. A shopping cart, seemingly possessed by the wind or some unseen force, was barreling across the parking lot directly toward him. In what can only be described as a classic Jason Duggar move, he decided to intercept the rogue cart with heroic intentions. It was like I was in some kind of action movie. Jason laughed as he recounted the moment. I was ready to dive and save the day, except there was no day to save. It was just me, my snacks, and a runaway cart. Maddie had just exited the store with her friends when she witnessed Jason's failed attempt at corralling the cart. What Jason didn't realize was that the cart had already clipped his car, sending it spinning further out of control. In his haste, he missed it completely, and instead of stopping the cart, he tripped over it, spilling his snacks all over the pavement. I couldn't believe my eyes, Maddie said, still laughing at the memory. Here's this guy, full of confidence, thinking he's going to stop the cart, and instead, he's on the ground with Cheetos everywhere. Despite the slightly embarrassing situation, Jason popped up, dusted himself off, and met eyes with Maddie. There was an instant connection, a shared moment of absurdity that broke the ice in the most unconventional way. Maddie, trying not to laugh too hard, walked over to help him pick up his scattered snacks. Honestly, I was mortified at first, Jason confessed, but then Maddie came over, and we both just started laughing. It was such a ridiculous situation, and I thought, well, if she's not running away after seeing that, she must be something special. The first conversation, from laughter to love. That small moment of laughter turned into a conversation that lasted far longer than either of them expected. They started talking about the randomness of the encounter, and soon the conversation drifted to other topics, favorite foods, hobbies, and of course, family. It didn't take long for Maddie to realize that Jason came from the famous Duggar family, though that didn't faze her much. In fact, it was a point of intrigue. I wasn't a huge fan of 19 kids and counting on or anything, Maddie admitted. But I knew who the Duggars were. I thought it was cool, but I was more interested in getting to know Jason as a person. Jason, on the other hand, was impressed by how down-to-earth and unaffected Maddie was by his family's fame. A lot of times, when people find out who I am, they either treat me differently or have all these assumptions, Jason said. But Maddie was just Maddie, funny, kind, and real. As their conversation continued in that parking lot, they both realized they had a lot in common. Maddie shared that she was from a small town and had grown up in a large family herself. Though not as big as the Duggars, they bonded over their love for the outdoors and shared values of faith and family. By the end of the night, Jason worked up the courage to ask for Maddie's phone number. I figured, why not? I had already fallen flat on my face. Literally. So what did I have to lose? He joked. The start of something real. From that night on, Jason and Maddie's relationship blossomed. They spent the next few weeks getting to know each other, often meeting for casual dates at parks, coffee shops, and church events. As they grew closer, Jason introduced Maddie to this family, who welcomed her with open arms. Maddie fit right in with the Duggar clan, her bubbly personality and genuine spirit winning over even the most skeptical siblings. Their courtship followed the traditional Duggar guidelines, though both Jason and Maddie admitted they put their own spin on things. We were serious about our faith and wanting to do things right, Jason said. But we also knew we didn't have to follow every single rule to the letter. We made sure our relationship was our own, guided by what we felt was right. After several months of courtship, Jason proposed to Maddie during a family camping trip, a nod to their shared love of the outdoors. Surrounded by nature and family, Maddie said yes, and their journey toward marriage began. A love story with a twist. Jason Duggar and Maddie's story is one that stands out among the many Duggar love stories. It wasn't orchestrated by a careful courtship process, nor was it the result of a family introduction. Instead, it was a silly, unexpected moment in a grocery store parking lot, a moment that neither of them saw coming, but both are grateful for every day. It just goes to show, Jason said, smiling at Maddie, you never know when God's plan will unfold. Sometimes it's in the most random, ridiculous places, like a runaway shopping cart. And for Jason and Maddie Duggar, that runaway cart was the start of a beautiful life together, built on laughter, love, and a whole lot of faith.